What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope all of you are staying safe, warm, and just sane with everything that has been going around the world in general. I'm so excited today to film this video because I have seriously envisioned myself filming this video for so long, and I'm so excited to be sharing it with all of you today. So as some of you may know, if you follow me on social media, on my Instagram or Snapchat, I have officially passed my NCLEX. I'm licensed, so I now have my BSN RN. I'm so happy. It feels so surreal still. Today's video is just going to be an opportunity for me to share with you all what I used, my tips and tricks, things that I wish I would have known before I took the NCLEX, and things to hopefully just help you guys. All right, so first things first, what did I use to study for the NCLEX? So my BSN program, so my school decided to offer us Kaplan. Well, we paid for it, but yeah. We basically got offered Kaplan. I was a little iffy whether I was gonna use Kaplan or not because I had heard so many good things about Uworld. So I was kind of unsure whether I was gonna stick to the Kaplan or go to Uworld. So essentially I ended up picking Uworld, and I'm gonna share with you all why I picked that over Kaplan. So I first started the 3-day, it's kind of like a 3-day review session that Kaplan offers. So I was able to do that. I personally felt like it did help me. I was able to learn a lot from it. I noticed a jump from my scores prior to that review, and then after that review I noticed that I was thinking differently with the questions and so forth. So I did find that beneficial. So Kaplan has a test bank just like Uworld, but Kaplan's test bank, I thought, did not have great remediation. So the rationale behind every question I felt was not enough for me. I felt like I read the rationale and I was still kind of confused as to, okay, but why did we pick that answer? Why was my answer wrong? So that's one thing that I noticed right off the bat. Like, I don't feel comfortable with this rationale. So I decided at that point to change to Uworld. And this was prior to even getting my ATT. So I didn't have a test date. So I was still kind of just trying to figure out what I was going to stick to and my study plan. All right, so my study plan was a little interesting because I graduated the first week of May, and we were told that we could be expecting to get our ATT a little later than normal because of the current pandemic that we were in. So I took 1 week where I just enjoyed just the celebration of finishing my BSN and just celebrating with my family, and it was very, very special time. And after that I started studying. So I started reviewing. I felt that Uworld was a perfect fit for me. Everybody's different. Everybody has different likings when it comes to studying. Not everybody studies the same way. I highly, highly recommend you research and figure out pros and cons for both, because I personally know people that use only Kaplan and they passed their NCLEX, and I know people that use only Uworld and passed their NCLEX. So it really doesn't matter. It matters what works best for you, the way that you study. So the reason I chose Uworld was because their rationales for every question I felt were amazing. They had diagrams, pictures. It was just, I felt like I learned so much more through that form than Kaplan. I felt like with Kaplan, it was, okay, this is your answer, but I didn't feel like I truly knew why that was the answer. And with Uworld, I felt like I learned so much more along the way. Now, you have blocks of questions for both Kaplan and Uworld. So you're able to set up blocks of 10 questions, 20, 75 is the max for both. So I felt like that was great. You're able to kind of figure out, you know, for this sitting, I can only focus on 30 questions and I'm gonna divide my studying sessions in like 30 blocks of 30, which is okay. I had some days that I was able to sit through all 75 questions and kind of take it like a little mock test. And other times I just wasn't capable of sitting through 75 questions. So I had to, you know, do it in clusters of 20, do it in clusters of 15. And, you know, it really just depends on how you're feeling and what works best for you. My second tool that I used was Mark Klemik's audios. I personally feel that helped me so much. So I felt like it helped me more with my confidence to sit down and take the test than anything. Yes, it was content, it was review, yes, great things that I was able to, you know, have, but I feel like for me, it helped me in the sense that I grew confidence with myself. Like before I had listened to his audios, I was seriously just like, oh my God, like the NCLEX, like it's stressful, and I felt like, you know, the NCLEX is like bigger than me and all these things, and like I'm just so scared. But when I started listening to his audios, I started realizing like, yes, but you know, like I am fully capable of sitting for my boards. Like I finished school, I didn't just survive the entire school. I'm capable of taking my boards, I'm capable of passing too. So I loved his audios for that reason. Like every time, for every audio, like you just feel confident about what he taught, and you feel confident about, oh yeah, you know what, this is like, I got this. It's not like the end of the world. So I highly recommend you guys listen to those audios. I'm gonna go ahead and try to link them down in the comments so that you guys can access them. They're completely free. Okay, so now the Saunders book. So I'm not sure if any of you have heard of this book. This is how it looks. So it is the 8th edition. So I got this maybe like back in December, I want to say. And I was so excited to open it and, you know, go through this and help me with like my studying for the NCLEX. I personally felt overwhelmed with this. It's impossible for you to go through everything all over again. So I only use this for certain questions that I was getting wrong on my Uworld blocks. And if there was a diagnosis, if there was something that I felt like after reading the rationale and reading the explanation that Uworld provided for me, if I still felt like this is not something I know at all, then I would look it up on a couple things that like I was completely blocked out on. And something that I do want to point out for these, that the explanation that they have for like diagnoses are really short. So it's not like you're reading pages and pages and pages of one specific thing. Like it really tells you like the top 10 things that you need to know for this. I do recommend this. It's not a must-have. You'll survive without it. But just I felt like initially I felt overwhelmed when I started seeing all of these diagnoses. If you're starting to study later on, like you're basically giving yourself a month or 2 weeks or 2 months to study for your NCLEX, do not overwhelm yourself with everything in this book. Like this is just kind of to refresh something that you really do not remember, and this is a great form to kind of hit all the points, all of the meds for that disease. It's a great resource. So yes, those were the 3 resources that I used. So Uworld, the Saunders book, and the Mark Klemik audios. So those were the ones that helped me survive the NCLEX. Now, a couple of tips that I can give about the NCLEX. I highly recommend that you do not wait to push it off too long. I feel like that was something and a mistake that I can admit. I felt like I waited too long to sit for my boards. So every person's different. Some people might feel like they need 2 months to study. Some people might feel like, 1 month is okay, 2 weeks is okay. Everybody is different. I had originally told myself, I wanted 2 months. I felt like 1 month would have been fine. I would have survived with 1 month, because remember, you're setting up a schedule for yourself where you're doing questions every day and you're doing remediations, you're writing things that you got wrong on these questions. And if you're doing that every day, 1 month is hefty. So you do not want to burn yourself out and then be, maybe on your second month and just feeling like overwhelmed and done with it. No, this is a marathon. You do not want to think that it's just a little sprint. You really, really want to build up your stamina for this exam. I cannot be hypocritical and say to you on this camera that, you should not stress out. I cannot tell you that, because you're going to stress out. I had so many people tell me, don't stress out, don't let your, don't let your nerves get to you. You're gonna stress out. You're gonna be nervous. That is all gonna happen. You just have to learn how to cope with that before you go into your NCLEX date. So something that I love is, I love aromatherapy, and I love praying, and I love candles, and so I started studying with that all around me. And the day of, put some aromatherapy on my neck, put some on my hands. I was constantly washing my hands, obviously, because of COVID, but you put it a little here, a little there. I was wearing a mask, put some a little on top of my lip, and I was taking those deep breaths while I was taking my test. And you just have to learn how to cope with that. How are you going to cope with it? If you're going to coach yourself and tell yourself, you know what, you got this, you have to just work with what you have. That's not going to change. You have to go in, you have to take your boards, but you have to learn how to cope with your stress. Learn how to just calm your body down. If you're going to take your exam soon, so in a couple weeks, months, years, whatever it may be, I hope that this helps you. Do not think that the NCLEX is greater than you. It is not. You have officially, you worked for your spot to sit and take this exam. So you earned it. This was not handed to you. You are prepared. And I wish nothing but the best for all the people that are going to eventually take this exam. And if you are going to be taking it soon, best of luck. Nothing but positive, good energy. All right, guys. So I wanted to show you guys my shirt, BSN RN. So excited. It's probably gonna look a little off because of the camera. We'll see. But if you haven't followed me on Instagram already, make sure you go and follow me. I'll link it down below in the comments. Make sure you follow me. I will be selling these shirts. I really, really wanted to, make something like this for when I passed my NCLEX and I officially had my license. So I'm so happy to have this. I wanted something very simple, something to just, make me feel like I did it. So if you guys like it and you guys want to purchase your own, you can. I'll be posting them up on my Instagram very soon. So make sure you like this video. If you don't follow me already, make sure you follow. I hope you all enjoyed, and see you all on my next video. Bye.